Hi everyone, this is Jessica, and today I'm going to be creating this layout in my junk journal. So this is a piece of craft paper that I've at one point added some stars, some stenciled stars to it. And I'm just going to continue creating from this point. So I'm taking two colors of liquid pearls in robin egg and sage, and I'm adding some water to it so they become really fluid. Because this is a dimensional paint, so it has a really heavy viscosity to it, and I didn't want that for this. I want it to be very liquidy and watery while still maintaining that pearlescent color that liquid pearls is known for. So I'm using my palette knife to spread this on, and as you can see, because I've added water, it is semi-translucent. And I'm just spreading it on over those stars, being careful not to mix the colors too much so you can still see where it's green and you can see where it's blue. And I'm going all the way across once again, just layering over where the stars are. I'm just going to do this until all of my mixed up paint is gone, and then I will set this aside to dry. So after the liquid pearls have had a chance to dry, I'm just going to start sketching out some flowers using my Stabilo All pencil in black. Now this is a water reactive pencil, so I'm going to be able to go in with a wet paintbrush later and activate those lines if I wish. So I'm just going to draw 3 different flowers. This is completely from my imagination. You could also trace some flowers on if you didn't want to just freehand draw. But that's something I'm comfortable with, so I'm just moving forward and continuing to draw these flowers on there. And I'm holding the pencil very loosely so I get more of a scribbled line look. So I'm going over some of the areas twice. So this is more of a stylized flower than it really is an accurate flower. And now, as I mentioned before, this is water reactive, so I'm just going to go in with a wet brush and go over some of those lines. And some I'm not going to, so then they'll stay crisp black, and the other ones will bleed out a little bit more and look more like watercolor. So now these are pieces of book paper from a book that I rescued that was going to get burnt at the library. So I rescued it and I'm giving it new life in my junk journal. And so I just ripped up the page and I'm just going to glue on these pieces, again moving from left to right across that area that had the stars, and I'm just going to keep layering up. So now some people may be concerned because I'm covering up my flowers, and yes, you are correct. Some of my flowers are being covered up. Yes, I did just spend time drawing them. And yes, I'm okay with it because some of that flower is going to peek out from behind these pieces of paper. Some of it is completely covered up, and that's okay because 1, I know it's under there, and 2, not all of it's covered up, just some. And this is also a really good idea if you're not 100% happy with all of your flowers. Now, in this case, I liked mine, but if you didn't like portions of it, you could use this technique and only keep the areas that you really liked. So I've placed down my book paper, and then I'm just going to go over the top of each of them with a layer of gel medium from Dina Wakley, and this is just to seal the paper and prepare it for more layers. And then because that Stabilo All is water reactive, some of the gel medium is grabbing it and tinting the book paper, which I think looks awesome. So I was really happy about that. Now I'm just using some of the liquid pearls in the 2 colors I use in the background, and I'm applying it directly onto the book paper and then spreading it out with my fingers. And this is just to kind of push that book paper into the background a little more and make it not quite so white and bold. Now I'm taking some sheets of collage paper that I painted earlier, and this is from the Dini Weekly Media plain collage sheets. So this is paper that I painted, and I'm just tearing it up in little bits, and I'm once again going along those from left to right along those stars, and I'm going to layer these on as well. So some of it is going to overlap the book paper we just did. Some of it's going to cover up even more of the flowers. It's all okay. We're building layers, and this is exactly what I want to do. So I'm using the gel medium once again to place down these collage tissues. And I'm putting a layer underneath, and then when it's completely in place, I'm putting a layer on top of it to seal it in. So I'm just continuing placing more pieces of collage paper wherever I think that there needs to be a little bit more color, because this will be the only color on my page. So this is a quote sticker from the Tim Holtz Ideology Chit Chat sticker book. And I didn't want it to be one long line, so I'm just using my scissors to chop it up into a couple different pieces, and then I'm staggering this on the page. And this is life doesn't have to be perfect to be wonderful. And then after I've placed those down, I'm just going in with a little bit of liquid pearls again and adding some color to the top. And then I'm using my finger to spread it. And now I'm going to create another flower, but I'm using the liquid pearls to create 3D dots. That's the one cool thing about liquid pearls is you can use them like a traditional paint, or because they do have that 3D dimensional property to them, you can create little dots and do dimensional art as well. So I'm just using, first I used bronze in the center to create the center of the flower, and then I used robin egg to create the petals, and sage to create the stem and leaves. And now this did take some time to dry, so I let it sit there for about 2 hours before I felt that it was dry. And I'm also using the liquid pearls to add random dots throughout the rest of the page to kind of tie it in to that dimensional flower. And these are the 3 colors I used to create the flower. So sage, robin egg, and bronze. And now I'm using the Stabilo All pencil to outline my quotes, or my quote that I cut into 3 pieces. And then I decided that wasn't bold enough, so I dipped my Stabilo All directly into the water, and I'm just writing with it and already in an activated state, and you can see that's a really bold line. So my page is complete. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you were inspired to create your own art. Be sure to share with us using hashtag #ArtJournalJunction. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel so you don't miss out on any of our future videos. Have a wonderful day.